One of the things I like to do is do my noise reduction as my very first step. And the reason is that way any enhancements I make are not enhancing the noise. But I don't want the subject of my image to get the blurriness that typically happens with noise reduction. So what I like to do is I like to do it in kind of a two-part process. So the first thing I'll do is select my subject, right there. And if it's missing any, then I'll go ahead and fix that. Now this doesn't have to be exact, but it doesn't hurt to get as close as you can. Okay. If you want to, you can go ahead and run the select and mask tool to mask it even more. But I think this is going to be close enough. Oh, we got one little step right there. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is select, modify, expand, and let's go 4 pixels. And then select, modify, feather 1.6. All right. From that, we're going to create a mask. And we're going to, whoops, hang on here. Okay. Turn that off. Get rid of that. All right. Then we want to invert that because I want to put the noise or the filter on the background. But again, I don't want it on my subject, right? So we're going to grab that. We're going to invert the selection. And I want to edit, fill, and I want to go 50% gray. Okay. And that will give me less of the noise reduction in that area. Oh, we got a little area right here. Let's do that again. We're going to select that. Okay. And we'll just do it again. Edit, fill, 50% gray. Okay. And then in an area like on this clock, I really don't want it messing with the clock part itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more selection, and I'm only going to worry about this part. Okay, just this part here. That's it. Just that part. Because I want this to stay very, very sharp. Now, we still want a little bit, but I don't want hardly any noise reduction on that area at all. So, after I get that selected, okay. Okay, then I'm going to edit, fill with black, and I'm going to go 75%. Now, if we look at this now, I don't know how to zoom that in, but if you look, you'll see I've got very little noise reduction that's going here, full noise reduction here, and not so much there. So now, with the layer selected, I can go filter, Nick, define. I always leave it at the default 50%, which is what it defaults to. You can change it if you want to, but I think that looks pretty good. And if I come here and I look, you see we've got very little loss. See, we got very little that we're losing there, but we're still getting noise reduction. Okay, you can see it right there in the hands of the clock. But it's nowhere near as much as, say, down here. Let's go down a little bit further. So you can see it's just a subtle difference, but it's enough of a difference And now if I still think that's too much, what I can do is I can go ahead and reduce the opacity, say to 50%, which gives me half of what I had applied before, right? It's easier if you create a smart filter first, because then you can adjust the opacity right from within the smart filter. But this gives me a good starting point. I can always, let's go to 70. And let's check and see how that looks. I don't want it so wiped out that we lose detail. I think we can come down a little bit more. I want as much detail as I can. That's going to be just about it right there. Yeah, I want as much detail as I can without having a poop load of noise. Yeah, that's just about right there. So that's all there is to it.